Podcasting in HD. High? Definitely. This is MJ and the boys, you lucky bastards.
Hello! Welcome to another episode of MJ and the boys, you lucky bastards. Neil, thank you so much for that intro. How are you doing?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Anything new?
Just riding a cookie, man.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
And a cookie. Isn't that bread?
Aren't we all?
Sometimes you got to ride the cookie, man.
I understand.
Duh. Sticky, how are you?
Yes, I feel.
You've had many adventures.
I have, I've nothing's made me feel so needed as not being able to do the show one day and then the show not happening.
Well, we were like, all of us are, Neil came over. Me and Neil were here. Then Sean was like, I feel like crap. And I was like, I can't remember what happened. I was having like some kind of weird
Neil had
meltdown.
a basketball game to call.
Oh, yeah, he had there were like, it would have broke down if you'd been here or not.
It would have just been MJ and I yelling at each other for an hour.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
And that would have been.
But you are needed.
If nothing else, I'm the emollient.
You are.
I'm the glue that holds
Yes.
the show together.
Yes,
It makes me happy.
Your
You were
ebullient
the-
presence is our emolument.
Thank you.
The
It also
snot that
makes me
holds this
feel
booger sandwich together.
Yes, a tremendous amount of pressure because I
Yeah, leave
I
again,
really
motherfucker.
badly want to
Yeah.
quit,
We're all depending on you.
but I can't quit because I feel guilty about it. So
Whoa.
that's why I was crying on my way over here.
Whoa.
But how are you, Sean?
Whoa, y'all.
What?
All
That
right.
felt like confession. Real quick, let's pause. Sean, we'll get to how you're doing.
no, it's
Sticky legit
more
just
important.
spilled his guts out.
What?
This is unedited.
Sometimes in life you don't feel like what you're doing is worth it or anybody's, really listening or paying attention to what you do. Man, I'm telling you, I've been there. I put a post on Facebook in that vein one time.
Right.
One time.
Yeah.
And it was about, playing trombone,
The bone
playing a
trombone.
Dixie- Yeah.
Right.
My niece wrote me an email and said, that was such a proud moment for her. She bragged upon, she started playing trombone in high school because I was playing Dixieland bands and
That's
stuff.
really nice.
So somewhere there's somebody listening who really enjoys this podcast, and they're going to be like, no, Sticky, don't. But it's like one person.
Oh, I know.
So if that's enough to keep you, as Wilson Phillips would say, holding on for one more day.
Well, like when you're on Z-Rock and that one guy hates you all the time. That's got to
feels
keep
great.
you going, man.
I know for a fact there's at least 4 podcasts that exist today because this podcast exists. And I should be proud of that, but I really hate those people.
Well, that's because,
They're doing better than us.
well, you're always going to, you run on piss and vinegar like me. That's why we're kind of friends. It's
Delicious
weird.
piss
Yeah,
and
you
vinegar.
really do. You wouldn't know
Maybe-
what else to do.
Maybe they put more into it than we do.
Okay.
Either
well,
way,
that's fair.
this
Yeah.
might be our last podcast, so take it in. Sean, how are you?
Man, I've never been better. I'll be honest with you.
He's so
I-
relieved
I've-
right now. He's
I've
like, it's
never-
our last podcast. I feel like sunshine. I'm walking on
free.
sunshine.
I've never been more hyped to do this show every week. So, if this is it, I'm going to be saddened.
Well, I'll be damned.
It's,
Victor, I'm going to miss you.
the problem
Everybody
with
else,
What do you think
listen.
about that,
Everybody else, you can hear me on Z-Rock mornings, Monday through Friday. We'll probably keep Sticky, probably.
Hey, you can hear me on ESPN
Oh, you can.
radio every day
yeah.
from 4 to 7.
The
4 to
problem with
7.
Sean is that he's...
Oh, and Neil, wait. Neil, when can they hear you?
Okay.
I do morning traffic, so they can hear me on a bunch of stations.
You
doing
do the
that.
quiet motherfucking storm.
He's-
Or
And
we
I
not
do
supposed to
that
say?
too
Promote it.
with Neil Jackson.
Oh,
It's not called that, though, is it?
Quiet Storm with
Quiet
Neil
motherfucking
Jackson.
storm?
I feel like his face is
Seems
out
like
there.
it'd be
but
trying to get
okay.
away.
Wait. So all you guys are on the air now? Motherfucker! Oh, I'm leaving.
God,
I'll see you next.
this backfires
And-
so bad.
Oh, I forgot high school sports. We've got
right,
region
Right.
Thursday. We start that Thursday and I think Saturday.
Sticky, you do Z-Rock. He's on every Tuesday at 9 a.m.
And I would not be there doing what I'm doing if it weren't for Sticky.
Yes, me either.
He hired me to do
either.
part-time. He hired me to do produce the semi-pro basketball team that was
Yeah.
playing at the horse park.
It's all down to Sticky.
Yeah.
I just love Sticky
Hey.
when I was a secretary, and then he ended up being my boss. He didn't fire me. Boom, here I am.
Ain't nothing
So-
to me saying, yeah, man, why don't you guys do high school basketball? That'd be great. Hey, why don't you do my pregame football shows too?
Hey,
Neil?
man. Thanks, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
you guys are now look. Sticky's like
Neil's got like 7 shows.
He is
So.
close to train tracks, so let's.
Speaking of things that got canceled way too early, TV line.
His
TV
happiness,
line.
your happiness. I'll take Stinky's happiness for $300, Alex.
It got canceled 25 years ago, Neil. TVline.com, which I'm sure you all love to surf on TVline.com.
It's one of my favorites.
Very prominent TV website. Put out a poll and ranked the actually top 40 shows that were canceled according to their viewers or their web surfers. What do you call a person that goes online?
Us.
Us?
People,
Yeah.
the
According to their
population.
Humans.
According to their humans, these are the top 40 shows that have been canceled and they wish they would bring back. So they got 40 of them. I haven't heard of any of them, most of these. Actually, number 37 was Dallas.
Yeah, who shot JR, right?
Number 31
I think
was...
this is probably the reboot of Dallas.
Yeah,
That's been on for a few
well,
years.
I don't know, dude, because number 25 is Bunheads. I know my wife liked that.
Yeah, mine too.
Number 24 is Quantum Leap. Number 22 is My So-Called Life. I'm just going through the ones I've
I
ever
remember
heard
My
of.
So-Called Life. That was good. That was on MTV.
Number 21 is Knots Landing. So here's the top 20. Shadow Hunter. Stop me if you've heard any of these.
Nope.
The West Wing.
Oh,
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard it for
course.
like 42 seasons.
Duh.
People want it back. Number 19, Brothers and Sisters. 18
don't
is
like
Marvel's Agent Carter. I do think they canceled
Yeah.
that one too early.
Yes, they did.
Um,
If for no other reason than Haley Atwell needs to be on a TV screen.
yes. And she needs to be on the big screen.
Yeah.
Because with a big
Well,
camera.
Got a 60 inch. So.
Yeah. Yeah, when I watch that show, I usually get about a 60-inch
Uh-huh.
too.
Oh, it's a boner joke.
It's a boner joke. Number 17, The Brave. 16, The Kids Are All Right. Not 15 is Moonlight.
The Kids Are All Right was that show that was like the 70s show, but it was the 80s.
Oh, is that
Pretty
right?
sure.
Oh,
Pretty
okay.
sure it was when they tried that, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Castle. Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, of
that
course.
ran its course.
I didn't watch it.
That's really good.
Remember it. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things.
Longmire. Chuck on NBC. People want that back. That's number 11. Here's your top 10 shows, according to TV Line, that people wish would be uncanceled. Number 10, The Glades.
Nope, don't know what it is.
No
Number
clue.
9, Whiskey Cavalier on ABC.
Oh my
I think
God,
that-
are you serious?
I
It was
think
the
that ran for
sister
half
from
of a season.
Dexter. It was the sister from Dexter. It's some kind of like just regular as like CSI, NCIS,
Yeah,
whatever.
it was Maggie from Walking Dead.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
There was. I bet the other shows on here. The one.
Number 8, V, the series
That
from
was
ABC.
good. That's actually
And
that's-
this says they want a reboot of they want a revival, not a reboot, a revival of the original NBC series, not the ABC reboot.
Dum dum dum.
Number 7, Pushing Daisies on ABC.
Yeah, I kind of remember.
Number
that.
6, Forever on ABC. These people really love ABC. Number 5, Timeless on
They love
NBC. Number 4,
That's a good show.
Oh,
Timeless.
yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Cancel
Don't
before it's
remember
time. Number 4, Happy Endings on ABC.
I've never heard
Agreed.
of that.
No, it's great.
Is
it's a
it?
great.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
okay.
a great sitcom.
Why they cancel it?
Because they have no decency.
You read the little blurb here. Happy Endings was so good. TV Line reader Becca says, "Oh,
good," says
reader.
Becca.
They're readers, not just humans."
Ah.
I miss it. Blah blah. It doesn't say anything good
No.
about it. Okay, moving on. Number 3, Hannibal.
All right.
Number 2 is Firefly on Fox. Now I haven't watched Firefly, but Joss Whedon did it. Did the Avengers,
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be great.
I would have almost always said Firefly in the past, but looking back with some distance from it, it's perfect as it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say this too because I did some more research on this, and every list of shows that I found like that were similar to this list, people want back. Firefly is always in the top 3.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying: be careful what you wish for, because we wanted a revival of Arrested Development, and we got it. And those shows are hard to watch. And we wanted a revival of Futurama. I wanted that more than anything. And we got like 5 more seasons of Futurama,
Yeah.
and they are awful.
Well, the
I
movie,
I wouldn't
the
say
Firefly
awful.
movie
I
was
think
off
you're
the
being
hook.
a
I liked
dick.
it.
Serenity,
Very,
it was a great
Serenity.
wrap-up.
Yes, it was. I thought so.
So the Firefly movie wrapped it up.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
when they when the big uproar from Fox canceling it and just fucking it left, right, and center, they ran the episodes out of order, even though it was a linear story. They gave him a movie. I think it was Sony Pictures gave him a movie to wrap up all the loose ends, and they did a perfect job. And I don't think they need to revisit it.
Okay, good. Well, that's what they start making other shows again.
Yeah.
It just won't be able to recapture the.
No, it definitely
original,
won't. I mean, that was
Well,
almost
they
20 years
killed
ago.
a lot of the characters
years
in the
ago.
movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Spoilers.
Number one, the show that people most wish would come back is called Sedition? Sanditon on PBS.
I feel as if that just aired. And
it's one season long. There will be no season 2, apparently.
yeah, well, it was based on an unfinished novel, so they really don't have
They did
anything
it,
to
huh?
base
They did
it on.
right. Yeah, well, look how many Lord of the Rings shows are coming out, and that guy died like in 1916 or something.
And they did
they're gonna crank 'em out.
47 hours of movies.
Right, but they're right. That's what I'm saying. They're going to keep making new stories.
Well, after they stretched the Hobbit trilogy
Oh,
into
yeah.
that was horrible.
That was awful.
Oh,
Awful.
the creativity that they did not show in the stretching of that story shows you.
I wanted so badly to love that too, and it was just.
They just tried too hard to make 3 movies out of a one movie story.
Exactly. Speaking of things, we were going to get into our big 5 of shows that we wish would be uncanceled. But I'm going to go the opposite real quick and tell you a show I wish would get canceled. The Simpsons. Oh, my God.
I knew it.
That's
No,
not
you
the
didn't have
only
to
one.
tell
That's
anyone.
not the only
I
one. There's
watched-
a bunch of crap on TV right now.
I haven't watched The Simpsons literally in about 20 years, okay? But last night they were advertising that this episode of The Simpsons was going to be a parody of Infinity War, of the Avengers movie, right? And there's a bunch of quote-unquote superheroes in it and a Thanos type of character. So I'm like, okay, Simpsons doing Marvel. I'm going to check this out. It was so god-awful. I forced myself. It was 23 minutes long. I had to force myself to sit to the end. And I was like, this is so disappointing. It's got nothing that made The Simpsons great. It doesn't have anything left of it. It's got no heart. It's got no humor. It's just a bunch of pop culture references and not even very clever ones. I chuckled one time briefly.
Well,
That's what I said about Sticky Soul.
You chuckled one time briefly?
Everything he said, every single thing he said. Rewind the tape, as they'd say back in the day, and listen.
Some things, some TV. One
Like
of
The Simpsons,
the problem that The Simpsons had is the problem that the Chris Rock show had. It was a victim of its own success because every writer in the Chris Rock show left to be a big comedian like Wanda Sykes and all those
Is
people.
that Everybody Hates Chris?
No.
Oh,
When he had a
his
show on
actual
HBO,
variety-
the actual
show,
variety
yeah.
show, and that was, hugely popular. But then all of a sudden it dropped off because everybody that did the writing stuff all of a sudden got their own thing,
Yeah.
and then they wanted to keep the show going, so they just threw in new writers, and they couldn't
And that did happen to The Simpsons. Conan
yeah.
O'Brien famously used to write for The Simpsons back in its heyday, and he obviously left to be Conan O'Brien. But not only that, but I think that The Simpsons got ripped off a lot by other shows, Family Guy and American Dad and South Park. Those shows became more popular than The Simpsons, so The Simpsons changed to become more like the shows that were ripoffs of them. So they were like, they changed their comedy, the style of comedy, I think, and it's just
to fit in with that Sunday animation domination.
Right, exactly. They
Seth
try to
MacFarlane
fit
hours.
in with it, and it just that's not what they should have done. They should have just kept doing what they were doing. But whatever. I mean, it's been 31 years. Last night's episode was fucking terrible, though. Don't watch it.
Well, they jumped a shark a long time ago,
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
They
season
jumped
11.
shark in season 10, I think.
I give them through season 10.
I give them through half of season 9, actually, and I'm an expert. But, Sean...
I'm an expert. I'm a Simpsonologist.
I'm a Simpsonologist.
Certified.
I went to Springfield last weekend. That's not a lie. Sean, let me ask you, buddy,
Okay.
since you know a lot about
Buddy.
a lot of stuff.
Yes, pal.
Okay, friend.
Chapo.
You
Chemo sabe.
listen, comrade. You have this encyclopedic knowledge of pop culture.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
more than anyone I know.
Yeah, I'm an expert.
And I say you are, except about The Simpsons.
Except about The Simpsons. I like season 10.
You're not so smart about Simpsons. But I I said before the show we should do our list of shows that we wish they would come back if they were canceled. That we would do.
Yeah.
The list that I just read 20 of, but our list.
Right.
So I want to start with you because I don't have any.
Okay.
And I want to hear what yours is first.
Are.
Okay.
All right.
What yours are. Right?
The MJ and the Boys Big Five.
That's what I meant to say.
Sponsored by the Grammar Police.
All right.
I want to know what yours is.
right.
That sounded like I just had a
Would mine be?
flashback to
I'll
Powell
tell you what
County.
mine be in a minute.
I was about to try to buy a lure tab off of it. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I was.
No, I was
Like,
referring to.
I want to know what yours is.
I was
Go on
referring-
now, show what you sell.
He wants to
Come
know
on,
what
no,
my
no, no,
list
no.
is.
I was referring to his list.
Yes, the
The
singular list.
Oh,
I wanna know what your list is.
Great, now I'm the pillhead. Go on,
Yeah,
Sean.
well.
I want to know what yours is.
If the
I get it,
child-proof cap
okay.
fits.
Damn it!
Nice.
All right, yeah.
But
Win.
All right, so I'm going to honorable mention Firefly just because
Okay.
it needs to be honorably mentioned. It did get canceled before it should have, but they actually managed to pull it out and make it good. There's a show called Wonder Falls, which was way ahead of its time on NBC. That is also an honorable mention. It had the lady from Hannibal in it, and it's really hard to explain what it is, but she... Hello.
That's my computer approves
God
of the lady
agreed.
from Hannibal.
All right. Well, she had developed either a mental illness or God was talking to her through inanimate animals, like little plastic lions and whatnot, telling her how to help people's lives. And it was a really quality quirk show.
I'm glad you said that because now I've got a show I wish they would bring back.
Yeah.
Go on.
Sports Night, which was Aaron Sorkin's show before The West Wing, except it was set in ESPN, basically.
Yeah, I sort of remember that. It was like an ESPN.
And it had Benson in it. Robert Guillaume
Oh.
was one of the stars of it. Great show. Top 5, Big 5, Happy Endings, the sitcom with
that was on the list.
Damon Wayans Jr. and some other people.
Okay.
It's a good, funny show. Everybody should watch it. Jericho, post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear war Kansas with Skeet Ulrich and Gerald McRaney. It got canceled, renewed, and then canceled again after 5 more episodes because CBS didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Good show. I love me some McRaney.
Okay.
Major dad. Agent Carter, number 3.
All right.
Don't need to explain any more about that. Number 2 features friend of the show, Amanda Ade, Carnival.
Oh, that's
Carnival.
a good one. You know what?
got canceled after 2 seasons. They had planned out 6.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It was just too expensive for
So
HBO, and
good.
it got canceled on somewhat of a cliffhanger. Still worth watching the first 2 seasons, but it could have been a lot more.
I bet they
and-
could do it now because of technology advancing. Their
Yeah.
budget would probably be smaller.
I need to see them boobies
yeah, maybe.
again.
Yeah, let's see them boobies.
And number 1 is a show called Terriers, which up until yesterday you could not see anywhere because it did not get a DVD release and it was not streaming. It is now streaming on Hulu as part of their FX.
FX
tie-in.
on Hulu, that's a new
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Terriers has Donald Logue and a guy named Michael Raymond James, who, when he starred in True Blood, was the inspiration for the Cajun alligator.
Okay.
Him. And it's from, God, I think it's been 10 years now, and it's one of the best one-season shows. It's maybe better than Firefly as a one-season show. It's a weird detective show, and
Yeah.
everyone should watch it. That's not coming through.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
It's the Terrier song.
it's like you just started playing your phone.
I just started playing the Terrier song. Terriers are my very
Sure, yeah.
favorite dog. From the Kids in the Hall. That's all right. We don't need it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it didn't come
Oh,
through.
that's weird because the other thing
everything
came
else
through
did, yeah.
earlier. Okay. Well, whatever.
Anyways, that's my list.
YouTube must be smarter than.
The Big 5 me.
Okay. Now I'm going to do mine because I've got 5 now.
Okay.
You don't want to hear mine now?
But
What if
I'm
I
afraid
have-
I might forget
what
mine.
What you need to write it
Okay,
down?
all
What if
right.
I have some that you want to add to your
Okay,
list?
okay. All right.
Maybe I have something to offer.
All right. You usually do.
I never do.
something to
Okay.
offer.
Trailer Park
Honorable
Boys.
mentions. Making a murderer. There needs to be more of that murdery stuff.
Dateline, NBC.
Did they get murdered? I mean,
Yes, it got murdered.
No, apparently they did
Get
kill the
canceled,
chick.
is
And
what I was gonna say.
it's just no, it's not canceled. It's like they're still in prison and alive. That's
Well,
kind
then
of
it
the
doesn't
joke.
count.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
that's Laverne and Shirley. Because I feel like in the climate we're in, I would really like to see two people working in a soda pop factory because we can all relate.
But,
their health insurance sucks. They don't have 401k. Trump's the president. I want Laverne and Shirley current day.
But
Lenny
again-
and Squiggy come busting in every 15
did it
minutes.
get
Hello.
canceled?
No, it ended.
No.
It just ended on
ended.
its own.
I don't
No, it
think it got
did,
canceled.
no.
I'm not sure.
All right. Well then, I guess married with children. Good thing it's on my honorable mention.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Oh, you're still on honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, my main list. Here we go. WKRP.
Okay. You mean
They
the
actually,
new WKRP?
Yes, they actually did revive that one a few years after
Yeah.
the first one got canceled, and
tried.
it was terrible.
And
Who
that
was
got
in it?
canceled.
I don't
Okay.
remember who was in
It
it.
had
Did
Les, Herb, and Mr. Carlson.
And Howard
that it?
Hessman
That
showed
was
up
the
for one
original cut.
episode.
yeah, I think maybe everybody showed up for like one.
Well, I
That
know.
was
Yeah.
almost as bad as After MASH.
That's saying
That
something,
was-
but yeah.
Ooh.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It went on forever, but it's a cartoon. It was still good. It was good until the day it went off. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is awesome. Night Gallery, because it could be just as good now, just like they did the new Twilight Zone and all that. I think Night Gallery would be just as good. Justified. It went on a while, but we could have got a few more seasons
That
out of
was my mom's
Justified. We
favorite
really
show.
could. I love Justified.
Did it get canceled?
Had a great ending.
It didn't
No,
get
ended
canceled.
natural.
Well, it didn't end kind of sort of abruptly, no.
No, they had it
I mean, they
planned out.
wrapped it up.
Yeah, that
I
was-
got to go to the premiere in Harlan. That was tight. And Carnival.
And you got out alive.
And Carnival.
Yeah, Carnival definitely was one of those that ended on a what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, how's that going to end that way? That's just stupid. Damn it. Bring Carnival back. Carnival's got to be number one on this list. Go. Carnival
And I-
better be number one on your list.
And I
Neil,
would
put
have
it on
said
your list.
Deadwood, but they did a movie of
They
Deadwood.
did a movie.
So
I think that's what they should just do. If they
And they
cancel
were
a
a
show,
lot older.
Netflix-
Man, were they old.
well, yeah, and they moved it ahead 10 years, which was the smart thing to do. Cause,
Yes.
Yeah.
The storylines were getting pretty.
You
Awesome
you have any
boys.
shows that you wish that would never got canceled, Neil?
I do have a few.
All right, let's hear them.
You were talking about shows that are appropriate for this time. X-Files needs to be back on TV, and
Yeah.
I'm not trying to help Fox at all in any way, form, or fashion. But that was that's
I
a
thought
show.
I heard they were working on
they
that. then.
They did a reboot.
They did a few shows like
a year or two ago.
hmm
They weren't very good.
Well, that's what
But,
the
yeah.
writing, the original right.
Yeah,
if
they
they
need
brought
to get
back
the original writers or
Yeah.
whatever back because they were stretching.
Cartoons, Super Friends.
Super Friends.
Because
Yeah.
the animation back when I watched the originals, it was so bad. Come on,
yeah,
man. We
man.
need to see. So you know.
Yeah, it's true.
I still watch
Just
Super
think what
Friends
they could
whenever
do.
I can catch it. It's great.
Meanwhile, back in the Hall of Justice,
Oh my god!
Yes.
Just
Zane
give me
and
the hard
Jana
on
discover love.
ancestral love.
Yes,
On that note, ambiguously gay duo.
Yeah.
yes, very
That
good.
SNL, bring it back.
SNL's not been canceled.
I'm
No, but they
disappointed
don't
that-
do ambiguously gay duo anymore that
That's
I've
because
seen.
Robert Smigel doesn't work there anymore.
I'm disappointed that it's coming back as a horror movie, but Fantasy Island.
Is it coming back as a horror movie?
Yes.
It's out now, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Didn't
It's
they
either
try
out now
that
or
again?
like this month, yeah.
Didn't they try that a few years ago with like Malcolm McDowell playing Mr. Rourke?
Yeah, and he
Or am I
was.
imagining that?
That's
I
awesome.
think you were right. I think you're
could
right.
see that.
But yeah, it was. It was one of the McDowells
Yeah.
or something.
yeah,
but
it was
it
the dude
wasn't.
from
Are you
Clockwork
sure it
Orange.
wasn't Terrence Stamp? I always get those two confused.
I'm pretty certain it
They
was.
could let Peter Dinklage do the whole. He could be the Mr. Rourke guy.
Dinklage.
no, they
and
should flip it
tattoo.
around. Yeah, they should
No,
make
no,
Dinklage be the
Yeah,
main
he should
guy
be the and
and have his
his
partner be
tattoo be
tattooed.
normal.
the
size.
movie that they
Yeah.
did about Hervé Villachez, Peter Dinklage
Yeah.
played. That was awesome because
great.
it showed you how gregarious Ricardo Montalban was
Yeah.
and how serious he was
Oh,
about
yeah.
acting.
He was a
and
prick.
Oh,
was-
big time.
Yeah.
He'd start crying about people just showing up late on for a read through or something.
That's a great movie.
That's crazy.
My Dinner with Hervé. I reviewed
Yes.
that when it came out.
Yes.
Yes, they redid it in '98 with Malcolm McDowell as Mr. Rourke.
I remember that.
Crazy.
I do remember that. And
They should
the
do it
only
on
other
the Penthouse channel there.
the only other show I thought was deserving of being redone is Battlestar Galactica, just because I loved it. Just so
Battlestar Galactica was
that
really
was-
good, but didn't they try
would be
with
its third
what?
go-round.
What was
Yeah.
it? The name of the
Razor
planet
or something.
Caprica.
No,
Caprica.
Caprica.
Yeah,
They did,
Caprica.
Yeah, and Caprica did not catch my what?
Hey.
I'm
Didn't
impressed.
tickle
I'm
my
happy.
fancy.
Africa
Yeah, it
did
didn't
not
tickle
catch
my
my
fancy,
attention.
yeah.
Like Battlestar
It's
Galactica.
great that you know more nerdy stuff than I do.
Drew from Fark.com bought me every DVD and mailed them to me back in the day, so I was forced to watch them, and they're pretty damn addictive.
The first
They're
season
great.
was just a
They're
piece
all
of,
pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's like your own
the
personal
establishment
Netflix.
of the first season, they
He
built
was,
tension
wasn't
up, and like there was one episode where like every 94 seconds the Cylons would show up and attack, and they couldn't
that's
figure out why. Oh, that was it built up such a tension in a show that I mean, it was crazy. I loved it. I loved it from that point on.
Awesome. Here's my big five.
The Sticky Big Five.
Okay, all the Luke Cage on Netflix, and Iron Fist also on Netflix, and The Defenders also on Netflix. Okay. Now, there was a Spider-Man show that was on MTV. It was animated. It was computer animation, and it was part of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man universe, or it was inspired by that. It came out like in 2002, and it ran 2 seasons on MTV. It was so expensive, and people hated it so much, they canceled it. It was expensive because it was computer animated, but now computer animated, it's like, and if you watch it now, it doesn't look good. I mean, it doesn't hold up. But I'm telling you, that was a great show. It was a mature Spider-Man. He's in college, and it wasn't supposed to, they didn't know they were going to get canceled. In the last episode, Spider-Man gets mind controlled, and he's fighting a bad guy, but turns out the bad guy's not a bad guy, it's his girlfriend, but he thinks it's a bad guy, and he punches her off a building, and she lands on the ground and dies. And that's how the show ended. The show ended with Spider-Man murdering his girlfriend. I need that one back.
Well, speaking of shows, MTV shows, Liquid Television.
Yeah.
Was great.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Flukes.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
Okay, so number 5, Agent Carter. Number 4, Jessica Jones, another Netflix. Number 3, Community.
Oh, yeah, Community.
Man, I just watched did you know that they did a season 6 of Community
Yahoo
on
TV.
Yahoo? Which, yeah, it was on Yahoo, the internet,
Yes,
right? But it's available on Hulu. And I watched it. And it's got a final episode where they're sort of like, the whole last episode is, are we coming back for season 7? And their dreams about what season 7 will be. And it's sad and funny. It's great. It's a great wrap up. But, it got canceled. I don't want to say it got canceled before its time. Because, Donald Glover had quit.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase had quit.
Yeah.
And
Donald
Yvette Nicole
Glover
Brown
said
quit.
Chevy Chase was a big dick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a
no,
terrible
he's a
person.
garbage person. I'm not saying he's not. What I'm saying is that show was funny when he was on it.
Mm.
And it jumped the shark the day Donald Glover left. I mean, that's what that was. But if they could do another season, or they want to do a movie and get the actual whole original cast back, that would be absolutely amazing. Number 2 is Daredevil on Netflix. Come on, man. That was the best.
Come on, man.
That was like the best TV show ever.
They ended right when they were in full swing.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
That was
right.
at they had hit the home run with the Deadshot.
And number 1 for me is something Sean reminded me of. 1984, Manimal. I think they canceled Manimal, man. I mean, I'm still not over that.
Not sure how I reminded you of
I
that.
don't.
But all right then.
Man,
You remember Manimal?
He pulled that one out of.
There's a guy, he'd go like, and he would turn into a panther. He was like a crime fighter.
No.
He was like a police officer or something. But when he needed to be a panther, he could do that too.
Yeah.
It's called Manimal. It was on NBC. It was great.
No.
Manimal and Automan. And
Followed
then
by
18.
Greatest American Hero
Yeah,
or
Greatest
whatever.
American Hero is on the other channel.
Oh.
We flip back and forth, of course. Yeah.
Because Knight Rider was
Yeah,
just.
Knight Rider was obviously the king of those,
Yeah.
but
They
yeah.
brought that back a little while
Wow.
ago, too.
Y'all come
They
up
brought
with the
that back.
list. The only one I insist upon is Carnival. Y'all do the work.
Okay, well, we got it. Daredevil, Manimal, Carnival.
No, Manimal is not on there. Sean,
Well,
help us with
technically,
the list.
I think
I've
that
lost my
Kit
list.
would eventually, his AI would become Skynet. If you think about it.
God, you're freaking me out. Do you remember the episode of Knight Rider where Kit fell into
No.
a pool of acid and he died, and then they brought him back as a T-top the next year? Oh my God. I cried like a baby. I'm not
No,
making that up.
is that a real
I'm not
thing?
making it up.
Oh yeah. No, didn't they spray him with some kind of to bulletproof the car?
Really?
Didn't they spray him with something?
Maybe.
And then
he sank.
and then they hit him with some kind of electric
God.
tank.
He sank in like the La Brea tar pits or something. And he was like, Michael, I love you. He was like sinking down. Oh my
No,
God.
it burns, Michael. It burns.
It burns. It burns.
I'm not supposed to feel.
Cars have feelings.
You know,
And that's what happened. And then the next season, he was a T-top.
There's no way that's real.
True. Look it up. It went from being a Pontiac to like a IROC Z or something.
Oh man, I do remember when Evil Kit came named
And
Car.
rock.
Car.
K-A-R-R.
Yes, KRR.
It's true. All right. So,
Well, see, that was the doppelganger thing in the 80s. Anytime the bad guy was the complete, was just a mirror image of
Yeah.
the good guy.
Yeah.
well, shit, that's what
Well,
Marvel does now.
that went back to 60s, actually.
right.
Star Trek was doing that. The mirror universe.
So, for this episode, you have to determine your own big 5 master list. And
As long as it's got Carnival on it.
okay,
Yes.
yeah, Carnival has to
And
be
Peggy
on
Carter.
it. And go. Got it? Okay.
Well done.
The MJ and the Boys Big Five.
Wow, that sounded weird.
Why did
Way
you
to
put Neil
go,
in a
guys.
bucket?
Yeah, why did you do
Why are you
that
wearing
in
that
your own
bucket?
heads?
Sounded okay to me.
You're messed up. You're okay. We all put people
our
in buckets
sound's not
sometimes.
been right for a while. It's okay. What
It's
else?
this Amazon board, Bezos. You need to get your money back.
You make me sad. I love
You
my
were
board.
already sad. You don't love this board. When has this
love the
board
board.
acted completely 100% right?
Well, we haven't quite got the hang of it yet, but I think we will.
It's still a work in progress. It's still.
All right, then.
I don't
Do
think this one was the board.
Get out of a bucket.
I think your computer's gone haywire because it was playing stuff not through the board and then through the board. Anyway, enough
It
about the
doesn't matter.
sausage
It's
being
our
on.
being
You
last
got
show
mail.
because it started with him going, well,
Do you guys?
I got a kid on the way, and this shit's a waste of time. And, but then he got real depressed because we all plugged ourselves. So now he might be like, well,
That's the
fuck.
worst. I got we got our ultrasound done today. Speaking of that,
Does that mean we know?
oh yeah,
Can you
it's
announce?
a girl, yeah.
Oh.
But you want to know what's messed up about it is the last time I got an ultrasound was 9 years ago. Technology's advanced quite a bit now. You ever know those horror movies where faces come out of a wall?
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
God. Oh,
That's
God.
what it looks
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
man. Oh
yeah.
my God, it's a creepy
Yeah,
thing, and you
yeah.
can see the skeletal structure.
Yeah.
So you got this face like pushing itself out of a wall, and then there's like a skeleton spine and these little nubby fingers. It is fucked up.
God
God damn it, that
for,
is in Anna Lee right now.
It's
right
in my
now,
life.
Anna Lee is
Yeah.
doing
She's
whatever,
got
laying
a
on the
movie
couch,
monster inside of her.
and there is something like just pressing up against her organs
Well,
and
literally
shit, dude.
sitting on her cervix.
Holy fuck. Pregnancy is weird.
Is that too much information?
No,
man.
it's not. It's insanely
It was
disgusting
like,
and beautiful
dude,
at the same
You can
time.
see it on this ultrasound. Like,
I've seen that shit on Facebook
We'll
where I'm
post it
like,
on our
that ain't
Instagram
cool.
page.
Starting to
Yeah.
understand his mood swings now.
you can, right, but you can see this
He
thing
cried the whole way
Yes,
here.
I
He
think
was
he did.
puffy when he got
Yes.
here. Go
karate
on.
kick her bladder. And then she's lying on the table, and it kicks her, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta pee."
Oh,
And then it's just,
my
oh, I gotta pee. Like this
God.
baby
you have no
is like
control. No
swimming
control.
around. At one point, it kissed its own knee. It was like folded over backwards, like in half.
I wish it would kiss its own ass with like its little finger up in the air. Like,
I'm
Man.
surprised
That's
it
for
didn't
you,
flip you
Dad.
off.
that's for you, Pop.
It did, but its fingers are little
I'm
nubs.
coming for you.
Do you guys remember? Of course, you're all Gen Xers. Well, Neil's a baby boomer, but are you a baby boomer?
Born in
Neil.
'67.
No, he's an Xer.
I'm an Xer, man.
He makes it by a couple years.
Just on the.
But
on the
my
bubble,
dad
though.
was born in like 1916, so I don't think I really.
Whoa.
Your dad's pre-baby boomer.
Whoa.
My dad was born.
What-
That's
was
pre
born-
dirt
Yeah,
bowl.
pro-
isn't it?
What came before baby boomers? Like Lindbergh babies or something?
Greatest generation.
Yeah,
Okay,
greatest.
your dad's the
Oh.
greatest
He was-
generation.
Is
no,
he?
he was
What came
before the
before
greatest
that?
generation.
I don't
No,
think
for real.
before that they didn't have
1916,
time to name
16.
generations.
No,
He would have been.
Yeah, he was part of the greatest generation.
He had a
I think.
full-time job at the crash at 29.
Good for him.
He's 13 years old.
God.
Yeah,
I mean, it was,
8th grade.
Okay.
yeah, fucker should have been working.
Got out in 8th grade, man.
We're getting way off topic. Next week we'll talk about the greatest generation. But I was just going to ask you, since you're all Gen Xers, you guys know who the Brat Pack is, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You remember the Brat Pack?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to know how much they're currently worth? The individual members of the Brat Pack.
Sure.
Well, you have to say yes because I'm reading it anyway.
I would love to know that.
Kind of
I
scared
need
to
to know
now.
if
'Cause
Andrew
I'm sorry,
McCarthy
real
is
quick.
worth more
They
than
are the
100,000.
lost generation.
The Lost Generation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this sucks because this is all in pounds and not dollars.
Well, just
Well, we
like
can imagine
almost
they
double
convert
it.
it.
Like what?
Yeah,
75%
Okay.
it.
Demi Moore is worth 1.9 billion pounds.
So
Wow.
a little
Seems
over
like a
2
lot.
mil, 2.5
That's-
mil, somewhere in there, right?
No, it's 2 point. No, I think the conversion to.
Is it double?
Yes.
Well, we'll
She's
go
worth a
somewhere
lot
in
more than that.
between.
Yeah.
Okay, Rob Lowe.
Demi Moore is worth $2.5 billion.
Billion. I said
Billion.
million. Billion. Oh, whoa, that's not right.
That
That's
can't
not
be
right.
right.
That's not
'Cause this-
fucking right.
This says Rob Lowe is 1.34 billion. That
No,
can't be right.
none of these are right. You were
I'm
fake
just
news.
He's on
reading
a
it.
TV.
Not on my
Isn't
podcast.
he on
Shut
a-
it down.
He's on a
Shut
TV
it down.
show right
Shut
now.
it down.
$1.7 billion
No,
for Rob Lowe.
no.
How much
no.
is Judd Nelson worth?
Yeah, Judd Nelson's
Okay,
got
hang on,
to
we
be
can
like
find Judd
75K.
Why are you doing this? It's go to Snopes.
He's the only one I care about.
There's Andrew
Read it.
McCarthy. He's way down low on the
where's
list.
Andrew
dude.
McCarthy?
Judd Nelson,
Okay.
166 million pounds. Why am I on English Yahoo? I don't know
Yeah,
how
go-
this happened. I'm on
Get
British
your
Yahoo.
conversion straight, man.
Judd Nelson is only worth $212 million. Poor Judd Nelson. I don't buy that.
None of this is right.
Buy
That
that.
None
can't-
of it.
what are these
None of
guys
it.
doing with their-
214 million, it says.
Is that what he's worth or what he's made in his career?
Oh, that's that's interesting. That might be
There's
what it is.
no way billions are involved with the first two.
Well, yeah,
There's no billion.
Demi Moore was
billion.
making Demi Moore was making between
No.
$20 and $40 million for movies back in the mid to late 90s.
Billions.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of billion.
Plus she has
Has
her.
anyone in Hollywood, who
Okay,
other
okay.
than Bezos,
Okay.
stock market people, Bloomberg,
All right, hold
like
on,
you
hold
name
on.
somebody
Okay,
worth
you're
a
right.
billion.
You're right. My bad. This is the amount of money that they've currently made at the box that they've
Oh, that's their
that
box
they've
office.
the
Okay.
box office draw. Their total combined
That's-
box office
Man.
Shoot.
draw. My bad. Not how much
I
money
was
they
not
have in
going
the
to be able
bank.
to sleep tonight. Yeah, just thinking, man.
not
dude,
how much-
whoa,
Where the
what?
fuck did I go
Yeah,
wrong?
No kidding.
How much did they pay Rob Lowe
You
for,
ain't
for
kidding,
Parks
man.
and Recreation?
Let me start over. Demi Moore, 2.45 billion. Her biggest hit was Ghost, which made a 518 million. Rob Lowe has made in movies 1.72 billion. His biggest hit was Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Damn.
Anthony Michael Hall somehow has made 1.34 billion.
His biggest hit was Johnny Be Good.
His biggest hit, according to this, was Dark Knight Rise, or The Dark Knight, which he was in for about 3 seconds, so
Holy.
that shouldn't count. Ali Sheedy, believe it or not,
Robert Downey Jr. was in Johnny
1.4
Be Good,
billion.
too.
It says she was in X-Men Apocalypse. I don't remember her in that. Emilio Estevez has made 458
Mighty
million.
Ducks.
Mighty Ducks was his
Motherfucker.
biggest hit. And
Oh my
Repo
God.
Man.
Emilio Estevez.
Andrew McCarthy, my favorite Brat Packer, has made 267 million, and his biggest hit was Pretty in Pink. He also made the brilliant Weekend at Bernie's. Molly Ringwald has made 262 million because she moved
I
to
cannot
France.
believe Molly Ringwald has made less.
Her biggest hit, not another teen movie.
No,
Oh my
well,
God.
where she
Oh
played a
my.
mom, probably.
That's sad.
Other notable roles for her are Rivendell and The Kissing Booth. And Judd Nelson, coming up in the rear, 214 million. His biggest hit movie was New Jack City.
Oh, New Jack City. I forgot Judd Nelson was in New Jack City.
That didn't sound like a repressed memory.
So there you go. That's the Brat Pack. That's how much money they've made over their careers doing movies.
Chris
Well,
Rock.
yay.
Chris Rock played a guy named Pookie.
That's right. He was
Yeah.
like the naked,
He was the crackhead.
Yes, he
The
was.
little crackhead Pookie.
good old New Jack City.
He was New Jack City's version of the guy who would suck your dick for some cheeseburgers
Ah.
Yep.
Better
from
times.
Boys in the Hood. Is that Boys in the Hood?
No, that's Menace to Society.
Oh, right. It was the joke of Boys in the Hood. Man, I got these cheeseburgers.
Double cheeseburgers.
I don't know
No,
what
she
you're
just
talking
cracked
about.
me.
You're making me uncomfortable, though. Did you want to read the story about Flava Flav?
Well, I
Is
think we
that
could
going
just
in
say
nerd stuff or what?
that old Flava Flav got fired from Public Enemy today.
Oh, that
It's a
happened today?
political thing.
Yeah.
Everything's breaking down. Everything. All right? We're all splitting forces here. He apparently said something about sporting. No, he trashed Bernie?
Yeah, now,
Is
Chuck,
that?
Chuck D and Public Enemy were going to play at a Bernie Sanders event in California.
Bernie
and-
Sanders made a poster that said,
Yeah,
Public Enemy is playing at my event.
yeah.
And
He
Flava-
sat at home all Saturday night working on that poster.
Yeah, he made it himself.
he probably did.
You know.
Flava Flav sent him a cease and desist and said,
I
no.
don't know how to make this target. How do you make the target? I can't draw the black man in the target.
I don't know how to do this.
Since Flava Flav's not in part of the concert, he says Public Enemy's not playing because there is no Public Enemy without Flava Flav. And Chuck D said,
Fuck you, you're not Public Enemy. I own all the trademarks and I designed the logo and I
Yeah.
made up the band and it's all me. And I
you
just
wore
let
a
you...
big ass fucking clock watch thing.
said-
sort
fucking
of what he
necklace.
said, yeah.
Well, here, and I don't feel that great reading this, but he said that Flava Flav danced for his money.
Oh, I'm sorry you have to read this, Sean. I
Yeah.
know this hurts you worse than anyone in the room. Goddamn. Go on, though. You've
I
already done
can't-
the worst. That's got to be
I
the
can't- I
worst.
can't
Chuck
find
D,
the quote
why is
now.
he still so angry, though? Is what I want to know.
Well,
Chuck D?
I mean,
Why wouldn't he
you
be
know,
so
this is
angry?
not a new thing. He has been going. They have always been opposite of each other.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Like this is like we are old men now, dude. I said I was going to help a Bernie Sanders thing, and you're going to do this.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I own the money.
that's
I
right.
did this shit. Where's your shit?
That's pretty much exactly
You know,
the
I mean,
quote.
that's. But
I
he's
think exactly. We just witnessed the conversation.
That was
sorry.
yeah.
Like.
Yeah, they said something like, "I know what kind of crazy." He said it's not political. He
Yeah.
said that. He said that.
Yeah,
Flava
like
Flav-
I've been dealing with your ass for fucking years. Fuck off
Yeah.
already. I'm doing this.
right.
It's happening.
He said Flava Flav couldn't give a shit
Go
about Bernie
do
Sanders one way or
Flavor
the
of
It's
other.
not
Love.
about Bernie. He don't know the difference between Barry Sanders or Bernie Sanders.
Oh God, yeah, he's getting him now.
Yeah.
And then he said,
Oh.
I can deal with him. I know what kind of crazy he is.
Yep.
Whatever.
Y'all don't know us, basically is what he said.
There you go.
And that was the weird world this week.
I'm not too broken up about Flava
Yeah.
Flav not being in Public Enemy. Chuck D was the driving force. Flava Flav did a couple of
He
good
was the hype
verses.
man.
He did a
He was the
couple of
hype
good
man.
He
verses
was
that were
definitely-
written for
he's
him
the
by
hype
Chuck
man.
D.
Yes.
911's a joke
So-
was a Chuck D.
But,
written
I
song.
mean, let's give credit where credit's due. He invented the position of hype man.
He did.
I mean, did anybody
If
have hype
you
man
right
before?
now are listening
I'd
to this
argue
show
James
and you're a
Brown.
hype
I'd
man,
argue
I'd argue
hype man.
Bandini
You
Brown
better be.
invented hype
James
man.
Brown
yeah.
had a hype man.
Muhammad
James
Ali.
Brown had a hype man.
Who do you
The guy
think
put
put
the
the
cape
Who
on
do you
him?
think to put the
Yeah,
cape on
put
him?
capes on him. Muhammad
Yeah.
Ali had
James
Bandini
Brown
Brown.
didn't need no hype man.
stepped it up a notch. Flavor Flav.
Muhammad Ali. He had Bandini Brown. He did a lot
I
of
don't
his
know.
own
I
hype,
can't name his name.
but Bandini
Bandini
Brown
Brown.
made up Float Like a Butterfly, Sting Like a
Okay,
Bee.
I'm sorry I
Oh,
gave
Rumble
Flavor
Fine.
Flav credit
Too
for
much
something.
credit for Flavor Flav.
Okay, Flavor Flav then, let's give credit where credit's due, invented the reality show format of picking a bunch of slutty girls
I don't think
and
so.
choosing
No, that
one.
was
No, that
that
was
rape
Bachelor.
bus. What was that
Michaels
rape
may have
bus?
done
Was
that.
it rape
No,
bus
it was
came
before
after
that.
Flavor
No,
Flav?
no. MTV just had like the date
Flavor
bus.
of Love came first.
Flavor of Love
No,
invented
no,
that.
no. the
Before
Rock of
Flavor
Love.
Rock of
Love.
Love.
No,
What came
before
No,
any
Flavor
of
of
that.
Love came before Rape Bus.
It doesn't matter before any of that. MTV did the bus where it was like you dated someone and they would kick you off.
Okay.
Kick you off. What was that called?
Okay,
Oh my
credit
God.
where credit's
Wow.
due. Flavor Flav has done nothing.
Well,
Where?
actually,
Sucks.
then Chuck Woolery in the dating game was doing it back in the
MTV.
70s. Hey?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I'm just saying something nice
He's an
about that.
ass.
All right.
Hold
No,
on.
no offense to Chuck Woolery. No, screw
Nah,
Chuck
fuck
Woolery.
Chuck
Fuck
Woolery.
yeah.
He's a piece of shit.
No,
Yeah,
he's
he
not.
is.
You're thinking of Bob Eubanks.
No, Chuck
It was
Woolery's a big
called
old piece of shit.
Pause. It was called Next. That was the original Flavor of Love. It was
Really?
called Next. It was on MTV in the 90s.
Shut up. I'm going to have to go back
yes.
and watch that.
Next.
Next.
Maybe early 2000s, but either way, yes.
That came
Next.
before Flavor of Love, you're
Impressive.
sure.
I'm.
Now she has to look it up.
God dang it.
while
Y'all go on
while
about
Neil
yourself.
sings the theme to nerd stuff.
Everybody's nerdy about something. And if you're not, you watch Fox News. Nerd stuff.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Bitches. Hey,
Hey.
here's just a little thing. If you want to know if a movie has got a post-credit scene, thanks to Marvel.
I know this story.
And you don't want to say, well, I don't have a story.
Oh.
So if there's a story to there's a website. It's called aftercredits.com. And it's great because there's no spoilers. It just says
This movie has.
this one has not. And that's all. If you want spoilers, you can click on it. But aftercredits.com. Save yourself about 15 minutes of watching credits if you want to do that.
All right.
All right, let's see.
The reason I brought that up is that Pixar's newest movie, they show a short before every movie. I wish I could remember. The only thing I remember is that The Simpsons, it's coming out this week, whatever I'm talking about, the Pixar
Onward,
movie.
I think.
Onward,
Yeah.
yes. It has a little short beforehand that is The Simpsons, and it's supposed to be Maggie Simpson. And did you not know that?
No. What happens? Does Maggie talk?
But you
I
hate
have
the-
no
but you hate
idea.
the
And you're
Simpsons.
acting now. You're acting
No,
now.
I have no
Yes,
idea.
you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, there's
No,
a
I'm
prequel because Fox owns, or Disney owns everything since the Fox, whatever. So it's like almost like Disney's flexing to let everyone know. So when you go see Onward, you're going to see a prequel, which apparently is a thing for Pixar to do little shorts before they're. And yes, look it up. You can
Okay,
do
what
it right
you're
now.
saying is very confusing the way you're saying it. When
There
you're
are
saying
shorts
prequel,
before they show
not a
the movie.
prequel.
It's a short. It's
Yeah,
a
they
little
always
short.
put a
They
little,
always show
another
shorts.
little movie.
So this little short
Yes.
is The Simpsons,
Right.
And it's
I got
apparently
that.
Maggie Simpson.
But why do you
so
keep saying prequel? What do you
I don't
mean
know
by
why I
that?
meant
Oh,
because it's
okay.
before the movie.
Oh,
But
that's not
it's
a
just
pre-
a little
It
short.
comes
It's a short.
before
That's
the movie.
why.
It's not a
Well, that's why I said
prequel.
prequel, and then I started saying short.
She's confusing
Yes,
prequel
no,
with nyquil.
short.
With
Shorts.
pre-roll, I
Pre-roll.
think is what you're thinking. Pre-roll.
Oh no, I.
A prequel is like.
I know what a
oh,
prequel
okay.
is. That's why I said short.
Okay.
But anyway,
so there's
yes.
a Simpsons short before
Yes,
Onward.
before Onward.
That would have been easier to say. That's really cool.
That's
though.
it. That's what I was
Does
trying
Maggie
to say.
talk? Is that what it's all about? Does Maggie say her first
I don't
words
know.
ever?
I don't know.
It's really interesting. You know, think about the Simpsons. That Bart Simpson is the age Homer Simpson is. If he had aged, like normal people, he'd be Homer Simpson's age right now. He'd be 41 years old. If Bart aged, because he was 10 years old when the show came on in 1989.
I would like to say real quick the reason that I said prequel was I was half paying attention because I was researching.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
MTV Next, according to Wikipedia, 2005.
Uh-huh.
Flavor of Love, 2006.
Yeah.
Boom.
Told you,
Flavor
bitches.
Flav was on the Surreal Life or whatever
Oh,
that
I
show
love
was
the surreal
before.
life.
And
Yeah,
to
but I was
speculate
looking
on
up
the
that
age
whole
of Bart
Bang Bus
Simpson, can I
thing on
point out
MTV.
something?
Yeah.
How old would Fred Flintstone be?
Oh, a million dead.
He'd be like
King Tut.
14,000.
How old was Fred on the Flintstones? I picture him as like a 46-year-old
They-
man.
So Pebbles and Bam Bam would be.
Well, they were in their teens in the
Cleopatra.
70s. Remember?
Yeah.
Wowsy,
That's what we're
wowsy,
talking
woo,
about
woo.
cartoon character age, man.
Yeah, I think Fred Flintstone was probably in his mid 30s.
Yeah.
People just looked older
Yeah,
back
they
then.
did look
They
older
did.
back then, didn't
Yeah,
they?
because they had babies. He
He
and
was
Barney.
22.
Yeah.
Pebbles and Bam Bam were very young babies early in the Flintstones.
Yeah. And he got her knocked up at like 15.
So yeah,
Yeah.
there was a whole episode, a very special episode where Fred almost went to jail for statutory rape.
Shut up. I'm looking up his age right
Say-
now.
Okay. While you do that, I will tell you that Mark Ruffalo has pitched a Professor Hulk film to Kevin Feige, who's the main guy over there at Marvel. He said he wants the ultimate goal of the film to be Banner and the Hulk ultimately battle it out. So they separate Hulk from Banner, and then they fight for supremacy. And also, as a subplot, he wants Wolverine in it. That would be pretty badass.
What would be really cool is
Yeah.
if all the other people that played the Hulk were cameos and all
Oh,
of
right,
them.
Eric Bana
Yeah.
and Bill Bixby. Oh, he's dead, but they could bring his hologram back.
Ken
for
or
Big
Norton,
No.
the Norton guy.
Edward Norton, yeah. That'd be hilarious. Dude, they should do that in Doctor Strange too, the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, that would be awesome.
See, everybody wants all the different Peter Parkers to come back, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire for that. But they should do the Hulk guys. That would be even crazier.
Oh yeah.
Bringing back Edward Norton. Edward Norton would stick a hot pick in his eye before he ever did a Marvel movie again.
Yeah. So
Do you like Star Wars?
Mhm.
Did you wonder why the Emperor was alive in this last Star Wars movie?
I did wonder why.
Well, I'll tell you why. In fact, God, I love having you here, Neil.
Because considering he did fall a way long way, and he wasn't, even though he wasn't cut in half like Darth Maul,
Right.
Yeah.
he did fall an awful long way down in that pit thing.
Well, they made a novelization out of the movie. It's out now, or it's coming out, where basically you can buy a novel of the, what's it called? This is why I love having Sean here.
A novelization?
No, novelization of the movie. What's the movie called?
Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker. So you can get the novelization out, and it goes into much more detail about events in the movie. And there's a lot of interesting things, but one of the ones that stuck out to me was the Emperor's spirit was transferred into a clone of his body. And that's the official explanation. If you don't like it, you can suck it.
So the Emperor is a Cylon.
I don't know what that means, but I'm going to say
Cylon, Battlestar Galactica.
Damn, yes I am. Yes I am. That's straight from Battlestar Galactica. See?
Oh, look at her.
When a Cylon died, their consciousness would download into another body,
Okay.
i.e.
Oh,
the Emperor.
right.
Yeah.
The Emperor's a
So
Cylon. Very good. Logan director James Mangold is up to replace Steven Spielberg as director of Indiana Jones Part 5. The guy who directed Logan is going to direct the new Indiana Jones movie. Indiana
That's good.
Jones and the...
As long as Shia LaBeouf is in it.
Should bring him back,
I
too.
cannot stand that guy, man.
Oh, he's the worst.
There's I saw a video of him just saying, "Do it," some motivational thing of him, just trying to stand. He's standing in front of the screen, just talking about doing it. He just wants
Doing
my-
what? What are we doing?
I
Are we
don't know.
smoking weed?
I don't know.
Do it!
I don't know. I couldn't watch
Do
the whole
it!
thing, but it was very, very enjoyable.
Are we eating vegetables?
Because you just want to punch him in the face.
Pebbles Flintstone was born on February 22nd.
I was Wikipedia. No, fuck him.
10,000
I was
BC.
Wikipedia that the whole time. The
10,000
Battlestar Galactica pulled me out. Damn it! Did you know that Bam Bam was a stepson? Or adopted, rather?
adopted,
He was
yeah.
adopted. I didn't know
No
that.
way.
Yeah.
Yes, I just started wikiing this shit. Sean's about to read.
No, I'm not
Fucking
reading anything.
Yes.
I just found out when Pebbles'
He
birthday
was adopted and married Pebbles, who is biological. They apparently grew up. And they don't really talk about his parents.
So
they talk
Fred
about a cousin.
could technically have cheated on Wilma and had another kid outside of wedlock, and
They
Yeah.
never
made the
talked
chick-
about his parents.
Yeah,
they did not
exactly.
talk about Bam Bam's parents.
So-
They only spoke of cousins.
Bam,
and whatnot.
Pebbles and Bam Bam.
He was a foundling.
Oh,
What?
Fred Flintstone is 41.
Oh, I couldn't find that. I could
what I
not
said.
find that. I could not. Sticky held his fist up in the air.
what I said,
Like
41.
there is another father on TV like me. I am Fred Flintstone. I am that 42-year-old father.
I also like
That is me.
to tiptoe when I bowl.
Well, sure, who doesn't? Who doesn't do the twinkle toes?
It's a
Fred
twinkle toe
Flintstone bowl?
bowling. That's how I bowl. It's pretty impressive.
what's up
I
with the
could
order of the
not
water
find his
buffaloes?
age.
Hey,
lodge?
you
Your
know what?
lodge, the water
Speaking
buffalo?
I
of
think
water
Sean
buffaloes,
made that up.
you know
just
when I
to
went
make
to
you feel
California
better.
last weekend, I ate antelope.
Antelope.
Yeah, I had
was
How
it
was that?
gamey?
No,
was
it was actually
delish?
it was pretty good. It was like sweet, kind of
Sweet?
sweeter than beef. I mean, I wouldn't go get a big antelope burger right now, but I enjoyed
Sweeter
it.
than beef. You wouldn't get an antelope
No, I
burger?
wouldn't
Sweeter than
probably-
beef makes me want to eat it as a burger.
Yeah, but there's like the mental part about eating an antelope that freaks
Oh,
me out.
you just
yeah.
block it out. You order it and then it comes on your plate on a bun. You're
Yeah.
like,
I think you would have liked it. It's pretty good. I figured lions eat it.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Why can't I?
Yeah, it's true.
Are they remotely endangered? Is this a bad thing?
Antelope?
Sticky?
I don't know.
Is
No,
it?
there's billions
What do we
of
know
them.
about antelope?
I will tell you this: that antelope that I ate was already dead when I got there.
I know, but like, there's a difference. Like deer, they need to be killed. They'll run into your windshields. We have to kill so many deer. What about antelope?
Yeah.
It was roadkill. It
Yeah,
was
that's
roadkill
right.
antelope.
They
There-
found him on Ventura Boulevard.
Yeah.
There are
After
minty,
Michael Jackson
mini
If they are
antelopes.
California's
no,
deer, then
After
good.
Michael Jackson died, a number of animals escaped Neverland. So
They've been breeding in the hills.
That
Poor old Bubbles.
That explains the bubble sandwich that was on the
Bubbles
menu.
on the corner. Bubbles on the corner spelling smack with Chris
Hollywood
Rock.
and Vine, yeah.
For those listening, I support veganism. I'm just every now and then I like to have some.
I don't care
Some
about
wild
veganism.
game.
I just want to make sure we're eating like elephant.
Your
you know,
cat
antelope.
is eating Sean's beef jerky right now.
Oh man, Fat Beck is
And
a
that is
bitch.
not a euphemism.
I'm so sorry.
I really did have beef jerky.
It's a literal thing that's happening.
I'm so sorry.
My last nerd story is Antonio Banderas has
Antonio
joined
Banderas.
the Uncharted movie
The Nason XB.
starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Tom Holland will be Nathan Drake. Mark Wahlberg will be Scully, which is so disappointing to me because Uncharted is my favorite video game ever, and Scully's an awesome character, and Mark Wahlberg is a huge douche.
Fuck you.
And
He is
No,
the
he is.
John Cena of
regular
action
people?
movies.
Okay.
No, of action
Of
movies.
action movies. Antonio Banderas, it doesn't say what Banderas.
Yes.
Doesn't say what, but he's
Antonio Banderas.
he's a Latino
He's
male.
the
So
Nason
he's going to be the
XB.
bad guy, right?
The Nason XB.
The Nason XB.
Yeah, he's whatever that B is. The
Matter.
allergy bee.
The Whopper.
Okay.
It's a TV commercial.
All right.
He's a bee.
Okay. So he's a B.
Yeah.
He's going to be in that movie, Uncharted.
All right.
Okay. Why are you guys looking at me like that?
We're not.
All right. I don't have any dad jokes. I forgot to get one.
Yeah, I did too.
It was kind of a depressing day in my dad world, believe it or not.
Okay.
So yeah, no dad
So
joke
no
either.
dad jokes today.
Neil,
Well,
you
were
got
in
any
California.
joke?
You were in California, had to come back to Kentucky, and
Yeah.
it was a hard trip back. I was
Yeah.
in Florida, and I drove up
Right.
here, and
It's cold. It's
Yes.
cold here.
It's
mild.
not.
It's-
It's fine right now, you little pussy.
rainy.
You little bitch.
What did the drummer call his two daughters?
What the
Oh,
fuck?
wait. Oh, we got a joke. We
Oh,
got a
thank
joke. Wait,
God.
Wait, let me play the thing. Hang on, I got it right here. Hold on. And then I get the...
Dad jokes. Dad jokes. They don't seem fun to normal folks.
Uh-huh.
What did the drummer call his twin daughters?
Yes,
Fair enough.
Sticky. Yes, Sticky. That was
that was the
preemptive and I
best dad
liked
joke
it.
ever. That was the best dad joke ever.
No, but we need to know the punchline.
You know,
Sean, I'll break your computer over Sticky's head.
It's not about us, Sean. It's about the listeners.
is.
You can't leave them out. What if this is our last show?
He already said it was. This is
last show
it.
you
And we
can't-
paid for a fucking year. I paid for a year.
Yeah, we did a
Anyway,
collection.
give me the goddamn
Come on,
punchline.
man.
Tune in next time. To
Don't you dare! Sean! Oh my god, he did.
This is MJ and the Boys. Now that's a tasty cup of meat.